everyone, how are you today? Welcome back to Pacific Front channel. Within a month, we heard two good news from the Indonesian defense industry. Indonesian state-owned shipbuilder PT PAL signed a new order to supply the Philippine Navy with 2 more strategic sealift vessels and up to 6 LPD for the UAE Navy. With these contracts, PT PAL has proven itself as a shipbuilder who can build export quality products specifically in the LPD category and is ready to face any challenges to meet customers' demand. But how's PT PAL LPD journey begun and how can it become their most successful product? We're gonna discuss it in today's video. Stay tuned. As the largest archipelagic nation in the world, Indonesia has a unique logistical challenge. We have to depend on the sea and air to transport everything across 17,000 islands. This raises its own concern for the Indonesian armed forces, because their personnel and materials are limited and stationing a force on every island is impossible. Moreover, Indonesia is situated in the region prone to natural disasters, where it's regularly hit by storm, volcanic eruptions, and sometimes tsunamis. The best they can do is to have a platform that can support them in every mission, from military operations like amphibious operation or force deployment to humanitarian and disaster relief or SAR mission. Until the early 2000s, the Indonesian Navy depended solely on landing ship tank or LST, but it has limitations notably in payload capacity and the capability to support airborne assets. After identifying the need of having this capability, in 2002, the Indonesian Navy ordered an LPD from a South Korean shipbuilder Daewoo. She was named KRI Tanjung Dalpele and commissioned a year later. Turns out it was a good call, because on 26 December 2004, the Indonesian island of Sumatra was hit by a tsunami, and Tanjung Dalpele was sent there to help with the relief effort. At the end of 2004, the Indonesian Navy signed another procurement for 4 LPDs from South Korea, but this time a technology transfer was involved. As part of the contract, the first 2 vessels will be built in South Korea and the remaining 2 will be built in PAL's facility in Indonesia. The lead ship is named KRI Makassar 590 and the second ship is named KRI Surabaya 591, whilst the remaining vessels that were built in Indonesia are KRI Banjarmasin 592 and KRI Banda Aceh 593. Although the Indonesian-made LPDs administratively still part of Makassar class, their design has few differences from their lead ship. They featured a third helicopter landing spot, shortened superstructure, and different mast design. When in 2011, the Philippine Navy was looking for a Strategic Sealift Vessel or SSV, PT PAL, after gaining experience to build 2 LPDs, offered their own design. It will be indigenous design and will have no resemblance to the previously built vessels for the Indonesian Navy. In September 2013, PT PAL was declared as the winner of 2 SSV and considered as the lone eligible bidder with a bid price of under 4 billion Philippine peso or $71.5 million. Both vessels, BRP Tarlac LD601 and BRP Davao del Sur LD602, were commissioned on 1 June 2016 and 31 May 2017 respectively. The Tarlac class design was later used as a base for the Indonesian Navy 5th LPD KRI Semarang 594. She has the same length of 123 meter, but the interior was modified to increase troop capacity with accommodation for more than 700 personnel. As of January 2021, she was converted to a temporary hospital ship. PT PAL keeps building LPD for the Indonesian Navy, and their design is not only limited for amphibious purposes. In accordance with Indonesian President Directive in 2018, PT PAL was ordered to build 2 new hospital ships, still based on the Makassar class LPD, with the main difference it was purposely built as a hospital ship from the ground up without a ram door. The lead ship, KRI Dr. Wahidin Sudirohusodo 991, was commissioned in January 2022, while her sister ship is currently in construction. And we have arrived at the end of PAL's LPD journey so far, with PT PAL signed a contract to build 2 more LPD for the Philippine Navy and a contract to build 6, a much bigger LPD design for the UAE Navy. From what I see, the journey of PAL's LPD is similar to Pindar's Anoa APC. Anoa was born out of urgent need of armored personnel transport for the Indonesian Army in a conflict zone in Aceh province, and LPD was born out of necessity to support military operations across islands and humanitarian missions for the Navy. This initial push that made PT PAL jump into the LPD category. And they didn't waste the opportunity given to them. They managed to absorb all the experience gained while working on the Makassar class, made innovations, and then successfully created a new design. I guess we can agree that Tarlac class, Semarang class, and Sudirohusodo class are proof of their success. Moreover, I think marketing, in this case indirect marketing from the Indonesian Navy, cannot be overlooked. They operate this LPD quite extensively at home and abroad, in military operations, exercises, and non-military operations. These exposures give an impression to PAL and their LPD as a reliable asset. And as people said, seeing is believing. If people have seen the quality of a product with their own eyes, they will buy it. Lastly, and the most important of all, their key to success is government support. Just like ANOA FPC, which was supported by then the Vice President, PAL's LPD is also supported by the government, in this case the President himself. For example, the latest deal with the UAE Navy. The contract of 6 163-meter LPDs is a huge undertaking. Why a foreign country wants to buy a product that even the country of origin doesn't have? Why didn't they choose other shipbuilders who have more experience building massive ships? If not because of a close relationship between the leaders of the two countries, I bet a deal like this will be impossible to achieve. I wish after PT PAL finish with the UAE's order, the Indonesian Navy can follow suit. Because from what I see, the Navy definitely needs bigger LPDs. Their challenges will be more complex in the future. And by having bigger LPDs, they can be more flexible in carrying out their mission. More troops and materials can be carried, bigger helicopters can be supported, and who knows, maybe in the future, the Navy will operate the F-35B from its flight deck. Just like what the Royal Navy did with the Harrier during the Falkland War. And that's it for today. PT PAL's LPD journey and how it became their most successful product. What do you think about their LPDs? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching everyone, and I will see you next time.